I know that this video is super late, but please bear with me. Hey forum, Manny back here with another video on the CascadeScents fragrance station, and this one is on this year's top 10 autumn fragrances. But as always, before we get on with everything, the goal for this video is 500 likes. If we reach that goal, I'll randomly pin a lucky subscriber's comment to the top, as you'll be the recipient of an assorted niche fragrance sample pack. But with that being said, and without further ado, let's finally get onto some of these autumn fragrances. Starting with number 10, here's Original Musk by Kiehl. To me, this is the OG, super versatile staple designer musk. Definitely musky, but in a wet, pleasant way, as weird as that sounds. Add in some light florals, and it's an overall very pleasant scent. I personally really like using it for rainy or overcast days, average temperature days, but it's also great for cooler days as well as some warmer days if you're easy on the trigger. Overall, for the price, it's hard to dislike this if you're a musk enthusiast, but if you're not a musk enthusiast or you're just anti-musk, chances are you should just stay away. Again, it's my number 10 autumn fragrance, Original Musk by Kiehl. Up next at number 9 is one that seemingly makes most of my autumn fragrance lists. It's 5 O'Clock Eau Gingembre by Serge Lutens. The super casual 5 O'Clock rocks. It's gingery and peppery in kind of an upbeat way, but also relaxing with its prolific tea note, so it really feels like ginger tea, like the name low-key implies. Now typically I'm not one to want to remotely smell like food or beverage, but this stuff is so comforting in a spicy and green way that I really can't help but just love it. So I most like reaching for this come lazy mornings where I'm just looking to stay indoors and lurk the internet, but it's also great for other daytime occasions where you don't want to shout with your fragrance. So if you like tea or you're looking for a casual laid-back fall scent, check this out if you haven't yet. Again, it's 5 O'Clock Eau Gingembre by Serge Lutens. Up next at number 8 now, here we go with the notorious Avignon by Comme des Garçons. I feel like the number 10 and 9 offerings were cozy and approachable, but I feel like we all need those dark me scents, or in this case, a very ominous dark me scent in Avignon. Straight up for them, this stuff smells like Catholic Church incense, which I personally love, especially for those days where you give zero shits about the world and you just need to detox from everything that's warm and happy. Again, I know it's different with its steely, smoky church vibe, but hey, if you're into stuff relatively like this, definitely check it out if you've yet to. Again, it's my number 8 autumn fragrance this year, Avignon by Comme des Garçons. Now moving on to number 7 now, we're gonna get nautical here. Here's 40 Knots by Xerjoff. 40 Knots is a marine scent, as its name implies, with its salty seaside take on cedar, so it's great for cooler summer days, but it's almost too woody in my experience for the warmest of summer days. As a result, I still think that it has the perfect niche for warmer fall days, which we have surprisingly lots of in Southern Ontario, Canada, circa October 2018. Also, since 40 Knots is evocative of yachting, I think it just fits those more formal or upscale daytime casual settings. So going out for country club activities, or maybe 3-course meals, or anything bougie if you're into shit like that. And maybe if I had that kind of access, I'd be more enthused to rank this one higher. But still awesome nonetheless, especially if you're looking for a luxury scent that could fill that void from the summer to autumn transition. So check this out if you've yet to. Again, it's my number 7 autumn fragrance, 40 Knots by Xerjoff. Approaching the halfway point, here we go at number 6, here's Sacred Wood by Kilian. Sacred Wood's great if you love an imitation sandalwood fragrance, because that's all you're going to get. It's super linear, but at least it has hella longevity, at least for me. Now, if you don't know what sandalwood smells like, it's a light wood that kind of comes off milky or creamy, as weird as that sounds, but I find it to be so beautiful, especially this one right here, because of how enveloping it is. It has above average performance, so because it feels so mystical, I kind of just want to be at my best when I am wearing this stuff, so it leans formal for me. But honestly, I'd say it could actually suit most of your cozy downtime sessions or just about any occasion barring work. So yeah, overall, can't wait to get more wears out of this. Again, it's my number 6 autumn fragrance, Sacred Wood from Kilian. Alright, crossing over from the halfway point now, here we go. It's Gaiac 10 from Labo. Now, if I had a Swiss Army fragrance this year for autumn, it's probably my number 5 here in Gaiac 10. It's great for any occasion, day or night, with its super pleasant light guaiac wood among other woods, but it's also slightly coniferous, musky, and even incensey. So it's actually slightly reminiscent of the airy coniferous woods in Kyoto by Comme des Garçons, which makes sense because they're both modeled after something Japanese, this being the Tokyo City exclusive Labo scent after all. But just like my also beloved Kyoto by Comme des Garçons, Gaiac 10 sadly suffers from those performance issues too, which is super disappointing because Labo City exclusives are not cheap. But if you're like me and you find enough solace in this scent and it supersedes those issues, then definitely check this out / pull the trigger on it. Clearly, I think it's worth pursuing, and maybe you too if you're also looking for that versatile woody scent for the fall. Again, it's a super classy Gaiac 10 by Labo. On to number 4 now. Let's not waste any time with this one. It's Fabulous by Tom Ford. Now, though it opens up somewhat airy and herbal, Fabulous is perfect as that androgynous night out scent that leans feminine with its sweet and seductive notes like almond, tonka, and leather. And for the most part for me, it's very alluring in a chic, plasticky, rock star sort of way, and I personally love that. Like if either myself or my date were to rock this on a night out, as long as it was a fun type of date, I'd think that this would actually make the night so much better because I would love to get whiffs of this if it fit that vibe. However, it is darn expensive for what it is in my personal opinion scent-wise. Not saying that it comes off as super cheap or anything, but I do believe that there's other private blends, especially some of the OG ones, that I think just come off as way more luxurious than this one. So the fact that this is a special edition that has been converted into a general release and it's still worth so much, I think is a joke. But other than the price point, I really don't have many qualms with this perfume right here. You know why I love it? Again, it's Fabulous by Tom Ford at number 4. Moving on to the top 3, here we go firstly with Etat Libre d'Oranges like this. Now, if I had to pick the quintessential cozy autumn scent that you'll almost always see in my autumn videos, it's definitely like this by Etat Libre d'Orange. It's herbal and strangely caramelized with that immortelle note, and then with some ginger and pumpkin added as well, it becomes kind of reminiscent of pumpkin spice lattes or desserts like pumpkin pies whenever I get a whiff of those. And hey, I'm honestly not that festive when it comes to this time of the year, but a few sprays of this stuff and I immediately want to do all that typical autumn stuff. Haunted hayrides, pumpkin patches, corn mazes, you name it, I'll love it as long as I'm wearing this stuff to go with it. So if you're also looking to get deeper into the fall spirit, definitely check this out if you've yet to. Again, I talk about it every damn autumn. It's like this by Etat Libre d'Orange this year at number 3. Alright, Forum, we're almost there. Here we go at number 2. It's 411 Intenso by Giovanna Antonelli Parfums. Now, if I had a preferred summer to autumn transition scent this year, without a doubt, it's 411 Intenso. Super bright bursts of bergamot and chamomile in the opening, just super invigorating stuff. And then you get the best of this floral mid-stage, which is very chic in a lusher, fresher kind of way before drying down into a deep patchouli and vetiver. Now, there's nothing about the scent development that I personally remotely hate. So again, for warmer autumn days, I kind of prefer stuff like this. That's why it makes it so high on this list. It's 411 Intenso by Giovanna Antonelli Parfums. But hey, Forum, we've made it. Finally, here we go with my number 1 fragrance of the autumn this year. Iris Fauve by Atelier des Ors. Here's the thing, Forum, I deadass never reached for Bois d'Argent by Christian Dior anymore. That was my number 1 fall scent last year. But hey, that's because I prefer Iris Fauve's waxy powderous iris opening over the ladders, so I tend to favor its more enveloping and aggressive nature. Then you have this myrrh dry down, which is done in a rather modern way because it doesn't smell remotely old school to me. And yeah, I just love this stuff altogether. It just comes off as liquid opulence to me, so I personally like reaching for this most for really formal dinner parties, you know, celebratory stuff like that. But I love this scent so darn much that I'm willing to rock this even smart casually or whenever I feel like it can be right. So if you're looking for a less cosmetic leaning iris that isn't from Christian Dior, definitely check this out if you've yet to already. Again, it's Iris Fauve by Atelier des Ors, my number 1 autumn fragrance this year. And hey, that's it for them. Hopefully you enjoyed my top 10 autumn fragrances this year. But it's that time of the video where I'd love to know what you think. What are your personal thoughts on my picks overall, and what are your own picks this fall? Please tell me in the comment section below. And again, as always, don't forget 500 likes and a random subscriber in the comments gets their comment pinned to the top, as you'll be the recipient of an assorted niche fragrance sample pack. So please don't forget to like and subscribe and comment if you're remotely interested, / if you really enjoyed these videos. Until then, for now, take care, peace out, bye, and wear your fragrances.